the reason why you're not making money is not because of sales, but it's because of marketing. And in today's video, I'm going to talk about a lot of things regarding marketing and how you can get people to buy from you and how you can position yourself in a way where people would be able to see you as an authority, trust you, and get value from you so that you frame yourself as the person that people in your niche would buy from. So I want to start here. Like, the thing is, if you see this iceberg, right, the tip of the iceberg is what you see. That's the surface level thing. And you think you need more sales, you think you need more DMs, more volume, more aggressive follow-ups, more tactics, but that's the surface level, and that's what every guru tells you. The reason why like you see all these things is because like you think more volume equals better results, but it's actually not the reason that you will succeed. So the reason, like how most coaching businesses or info businesses drive sales, is actually positioning and framing, authority, education and value, lifestyle, and proof, right? All of these drive sales and make your sales easier. And I'm going to show you why. Like, a lot of people just don't understand this concept of the marketing and sales continuum. So I'm going to type it out here so you can see it. Marketing and sales continuum. Let's say, for example, if you have good marketing, right? If you put more effort into marketing, you get easy sales. If you put less effort into marketing, you get harder sales. Let's say we imagine this, like, let's say we do an analogy, right? So right now, like, let's say you have shitty content, let's say about 500 views or to 1,000 views on your content. You're not really like, you don't really understand messaging. You didn't even do market research. You sort of assume what your target audience is because you are probably your target audience. Let's say you're a fitness coach and you help people lose weight. You probably know a lot about your niche already because you're trying to lose weight, right? But the thing is, you don't go way more in depth about what the demographics of your target audience is, or the psychographics, or the buying triggers, and stuff like that. So when you make content, you don't actually talk about the objections or break beliefs. I can't speak, but you don't actually break beliefs or handle objections inside of your content. And that's why a lot of people don't convert as well on the sales side of things, right? So if you make content that don't break people's beliefs or don't show your lifestyle, or people don't see you as an authority, when they go through your funnel and they hop on the sales call, they might have a lot of objections, right? They might not trust you enough to even buy. And this is where the continuum comes into play, because like, let's say you do all of that and you put so much effort into your messaging, your content, like showing your lifestyle, educating people on your mechanism, which is like the thing that you teach, or whatnot, right? The thing that that you're an expert in, right? So if you don't give enough value or education, or even just make people trust you, you're gonna have a hard time with the sales calls, the DMs and stuff like that, because you need people to actually like, you're trying to push a rock up the hill when it should be like a water slide where it's like super like easy to slide on and it's frictionless, right? So if you don't put any effort into marketing here, your sales is gonna be hard. This is the marketing and sales continuum that like most coaches or most people just don't understand. And I've seen a lot of content. People just don't explain this well, or they don't even like, talk about this. This is the first thing you need to understand about the marketing and sales continuum. Improve your marketing, more effort, and you will have a way easier time on sales calls because you hop on a call, they're already kind of sold at this point. So probably like 70% sold. And you just need to push them a little bit on the sales call and it's a close. So the reason why you need good marketing and the reason why marketing is so important is because like then there's this flywheel, right? Which I'm gonna explain, but I have a lot of thoughts right now and I'm trying to put this down into a simple to understand format. But you probably might know, yes, good marketing. Yes, Justin, I get it. We have to make more content. We have to make more YouTube videos so that people trust us and stuff like that, right? Yes, all of that is good. But the reason why more content doesn't mean better results is because you need to understand a lot of things, which I'm gonna show here. But you need more trust, right? So you need more trust, you need authority, you need to be seen as an authority, and you need proof. So these three things are very important, and I'm going to explain more in depth here. But in order for people to buy, there's this PC quadrant. So PC means pain and confidence quadrant, right? So there's this quadrant of like how people actually take action to buy from you, right? So in order for a person to actually say, hey, like, I think he's the right person to buy from, and I feel confident in him as the person, or I feel that I have enough pain to solve my problem and I think he can solve it, like, I think I will buy. That's the most simplest thing that I can explain. But most people don't take action if they feel like they have doubt, right? And they are comfortable. So no one acts below this like line over here. So no one acts below this crossroads here. If they have doubt and they don't trust you, they feel like they can't solve their problems with your solution and they feel like you don't provide enough value, they will not have the confidence to buy from you. And the thing is, if they don't have enough pain, like they also won't buy from you. Let's say you're comfortable, right? Let's say you're making like 100K per month, right? You feel super comfortable, like you have the dream life that you want. Do you need more mentorships? Like, do you need anything else to buy stuff? Like, no. Like, you want to be a different person. Like, yes, at 100K per month, like you probably want a new watch, a new handbag, or you might want a new penthouse or whatnot, right? That gives you more status and that gives you a different version of yourself. But ultimately, when you want to buy something, right, you need to have confidence in the person, right? So let's say you buy a penthouse, right, and you see the you have multiple real estate agents that you can choose, right? But you need to have the confidence that this real estate agent will help you choose the right penthouse for the cheapest price. And you also have the pain of like going through all the paperwork and trying to buy the penthouse and you want to eliminate pain, right? You want to escape from all the hassle and all the pain, right? That's why you're trying to buy it. So it's the same as prospects. It's the same as your clients, right? You want to remove as much doubt as possible and you want to make sure that they are not comfortable, right? So no one would like really act below this like line over here. If they are over this line, if they have confidence, right, and if they have pain, then they will definitely buy from you. And all you need is to push them up this like line over here and make them have more pain and feel that they should buy from you. And that's why you should make more content that solves the problem of what your clients are trying to have, right? In terms of pain. And in terms of confidence, let's say you make lifestyle content. Let's say you show them about your life, you resonate with your audience, right? Let's say your audience is around 20 years old, like around my age, and they want to follow Iman Gaji, or they want to build a life where you can spend money on cars, buy expensive clothes and stuff like that, right? So if they want to be that type of person and they see that you're making like crazy amounts of money, then they would like have the confidence to buy from you because they like you, they feel like they relate to you, and they feel like you know your stuff. So that's why they build the confidence, right? So that's how people buy. But going back to here, like you need to have a trust flywheel, right? So when you have good marketing and people trust you, see you as authority, and you have social proof, like you will get more DMs and book calls, right? So when you get more DMs and book calls, like people, it will be so easy to close right here because you're kind of like breaking beliefs in your content, you're handling objections, and you're helping people see that having this business model made you money and you're living a cool lifestyle, and they relate to you and your values and your morals, and they really want to learn from you, right? So if they trust you enough and you educate them and you can provide more value, like the close will be way easier, right? Once you get way easier closes, like once you basically sell them on the 70%, 80%, and like on the sales call, you push them like a little bit for like a 20% or 10% or 30% or whatnot, like you get more clients, right? If you have more clients, and you promise to get them the results that they want, like you build even more trust and you can feed it back into the marketing, and you can even post all of those client results on your content and on your social medias, and like you can really build this whole flywheel over and over again. So it's like it's really like a magical thing, right? So the thing is, like, I want to show you like what the process is and how you can actually go from like applying all this stuff, and it's not about more sales, more DMs, more volume and stuff like that, but actually having proper positioning and framing, like authority, you can provide value and like education, show the lifestyle that you're relatable and people love your values, who you are as a person, and show your identity. All right. So this is the whole process of like taking someone who's here, who's skeptical, to someone who's here. All right. So I'm gonna explain everything. When someone is here, like let's say they are a cold person, they don't know you. They will ask like they see your content, your ads, your emails or whatnot, and they ask like, why should I trust you? Like, why should I listen to you? And like, who are you? So when they go from here, like let's say they look at your ads, like you put traffic in front of their faces, you put content in front of their faces, they look at your reels, or you even like do cold outbound, right? You just like lead source and you send manual DMs, right? They will ask these questions, right? Like imagine buying something and you don't even know the brand, you don't even know what products they have, and like you're super skeptical, right? So that's traffic, right? So there's three forms of traffic. There's influential traffic, there's traffic where you initiate, and there's traffic where you invest, all right? So in influence, right, that's where you attract, right? That's where people look at your content, and it's organic, by the way. So it's like Instagram Reels, it's TikToks, it's YouTube, all right? So there's YouTube here and there's Instagram here, all right? So on YouTube, this is the best platform you can use to get people to trust you. The reason why is there's a 7-Eleven 4 rule. In the 7-Eleven 4 rule, people need to consume 7 hours of content across 11 interactions across 4 platforms, all right, in order to buy from you. So what that means is they have to consume 7 hours of your content, and YouTube is the easiest to get people to consume more than a minute of you. So Instagram only allows 1 minute. TikTok, I think TikTok allows more than 5 minutes or so. But in terms of getting people to actually binge watch you and actually know you and actually consume your content, it's way easier to do it on YouTube. And people, if people consume your content enough, they will be familiar with you. That's the most important thing. They'll be familiar with you. They would relate to you, and they will see you as like someone they want to become. People want to change their identities and they want to get outcomes. They don't buy they don't buy your offer, they don't buy your product, they don't buy your mentorship, your coaching or whatnot just because of coaching. They buy because they want outcomes. Right? So what does outcomes mean? Outcomes mean that let's say you're a fitness coach, you don't sell them on coaching or like weight loss or like going to the gym and eating a diet or eating healthy, right? You sell them on losing weight, like losing at least 20 pounds in 6 weeks. That's the dream outcome that they want. And you don't sell them anything else. Let's say you're a content coach, all right? People don't want to film content or set up their cameras or have this huge production or setup. All they want is like they want to go from 0 to 100K followers in 6 months. That's all they want. They want the dream outcome. They want the thing that gets them there, basically. All right? So going back to the 7-Eleven forum, they have to consume 7 hours of your content across 11 interactions. So it can be DMs, it can be stories, it can be you initiating a conversation, like reels, comments, likes, and stuff like that across 11 interactions, right? Across 4 platforms. So let's say you have a LinkedIn, you have YouTube, you have Instagram and TikTok, right? So across 4 platforms. I believe that if you do the 7 hours of content, like across a few interactions, it will be good enough. All right. So, and the reason why YouTube is like great is because it builds trust with people, right? People, like what I said, people can see your stuff, right? So you can post lifestyle stuff. So you can post like vlogs, you can post it in the lives, and this makes people like you, all right? First of all, people will relate to you because I think I spelled relatable wrong. Oh my god. But anyways, you'll be seen as authentic because people would actually see you as who you are. People would actually become more familiar to you. Let's say you watch Mr. Beast's content, right? Every time you click on his videos and watch his new video, like, and you consume like 10 of his videos, you feel like you understand him and you know who he is. Because the more content you watch, there's this gap that you feel after watching his content because you feel that you actually know his life, you actually know what type of person he is and what he's doing with his life, for example, right? So that makes him authentic. And if you actually like show people your life, you show people that you're likable, like it helps people relate to you, and people will want to become you because they want to change their identities, right? So it's not about the coaching, it's not about the mentorships, it's all about helping people become better versions of themselves and also the outcome that they get after getting your mentorship or your coaching, right? So the second thing is education, right? So when you educate people, like what I'm doing now, I'm showing you that I know my stuff and I'm providing value and I'm building trust with you, all right? So when you use YouTube to educate people, like YouTube is a platform where people watch long form content. They watch like long videos and they want to learn something from there. You wouldn't go to Instagram and like really learn something, right? Like dumb it down to like first principles. Like you wouldn't go to Instagram or TikTok to learn something, you will go to YouTube to learn something, right? So the third thing is testimonials, right? To get people to believe in what you're trying to sell more or how your coaching works and stuff like that, you need testimonials because it builds credibility, right? it helps people see you as an authority and also the social proof that you have. It helps people get more confidence to buy. So people get more confidence from three things. One is your offer. Two, the second thing is you. And three is for other people. People get more confidence from the offer, you, and other people. And if you haven't started YouTube, you should. If you want to grow your coaching business and if you want people to trust you, you should. You have to show that other people are succeeding with your knowledge and with your help, all right, and your solution. And also, this is people will get sold by you, all right? So who you are as a person, your beliefs, and your lifestyle, like if you seem relatable or not, all right? And the last one is your offer. So your offer is basically when you send them to a VSL or like when you talk about it in your content, all right? When you educate. And the second thing for influence is Instagram, all right? So for Instagram, there will be a lot of stuff that I'm gonna talk about later, but this is the first way where it's like the manual way where you can do automated outreach. So you can hire a setter and a VA and you can just like lead source and yeah, you can basically like automate this. But I'm not gonna talk about like this part like a lot. But when you initiate, right, that means you're reaching out to somebody, you're initiating a conversation. So when someone like follows you or when someone follows you or they see that they look at your reel, right? They reach out to you, right? So this is your best weapon right here. So when people follow you and like they look at your reels, they will definitely click on your reels, right? They will definitely click on your profile, right? Just check out who you are, right? So they don't just like watch a 30-second to 1 minute video and like don't, if they find it interesting, they will check out your profile. And this is your best weapon right here. And if you don't optimize it correctly, you're gonna lose out on a bunch of frame and you're gonna lose out on a bunch of positioning right here. All right. And authority. So this is what actually drives sales, remember? So I'm gonna go back to here, right? So okay, people perceive you in a certain way. That's how the whole um that's how the whole info coaching mentorship thing works, right? So people will perceive you in a certain way and your profile needs to exactly like match that perception of why they should listen to you and why they should buy from you, right? So we'll start off with highlights. No, sorry. We'll start off with your bio, actually. I didn't actually like write this down. Yeah. But anyways, I'm gonna write it here. So okay. So your bio. It needs to state three things. Alright? So it needs to state what you do. You need to optimize your bio in this manner. What you do, social proof, or you can say like who you help. This is social proof, and this is a CTA. Or yeah. So like an example can be like who I help. I helping fitness, helping women or like men, helping men lose, for example, pick up girls using, you can say mechanism, right? This is your unique mechanism, for example. So your social proof, you can say like 1,000 plus men, men, clients helped, for example, right? So DM, you can say DM me, go, go to learn how to learn, I don't know, to learn the mechanism, right? So let's say I do a pickup. Let's say I do limitless No. Uh, The I don't know, the nice guy approach, for example. Okay. I'm actually dead. I'm not like yeah. I probably gave a bad example, but this is what actually like you should put in your bio, right? You want to optimize it well, but this is just an example, right? So after they look at your profile, they will first look at your followers, right? So how many followers do you have? And the second thing is that they will look at your bio, and the third thing is that they will look at your highlights, right? So in your highlights, you should actually have education, you should actually have client results, and you should actually have lifestyle, right? Like what we talked about before, like education helps you be seen as an authority, and like it helps people get so it helps people like it helps people know more about your mechanism and your offer, and to see if you know your stuff or not, right? The second thing is client results, right? People want social proof. They want to make sure that your stuff works and your solution works, right? And the third thing is lifestyle, relatability, like what I said, right? So if you have stories, right? Like stories is a game changer right now. If you don't have story sequences, if you don't have stories, and if you don't put those stories into your highlights, you're like cooked. You're not. Yeah, you're missing out on a lot of fame and perception, and yeah. So you definitely need to have stories. All right. So stories, like to cover up stories, is actually social proof, education, engagement, CTAs, and lifestyle. Right. So you probably know what social proof and education, CTAs, and lifestyle, but you probably don't like know what's engagement. Engagement is the post that you post, right? So the next thing they will look at is the post, right? So when they look at the post, right, on Instagram, you can probably see like 3 pin posts, and after that, you can look at your reels, right? So on your 3 pin posts, you need to show that you're an authority. You can share your story to show that you're an authority. So let's say you went from zero to $2 million per year in like 2 years. That's a story you can tell, and that shows that you're an authority because like people will actually like look at your story and see how you have gone from 0 to 2 million, and you can put it in the caption, and that shows that you're an authority, and it shows your personality as well, and you can provide value. So when you provide value, you can say like you can handle objections in the value side of things as well. So like here's how to get 5 dates in a week or something like that, right? Here's how to lose weight in 6 weeks using the mechanism, right? So you can do carousel reels, carousel posts, and you can get people to swipe and like get value from there, all right? So the next thing they'll look at is your reels, right? So when they look at your reels, most top of funnel content. So there's top of funnel, middle funnel, and bottom of funnel. All right. So it actually like goes like this. All right. So if I'm gonna draw it here, top of funnel is here, middle of funnel is here. Oh god, the O is big. Okay, so bottom of funnel is here. So like to get someone to like go, this is a whole funnel right here, and this is top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom funnel. This is where people buy. This is where people will pay for your stuff, and this is where people are cold. All right. So they don't know you, they haven't trusted you, and stuff like that. This is when they buy. All right. So top of funnel is usually awareness, right? So awareness content is usually just lifestyle, and like you share your beliefs, you just yap on content, or you show the things that you do, all right, or the lifestyle you have, all right. So that gets people to like you, like relate to you, and you're basically like they relate to your identity, basically, like what I explained just now. So with middle of funnel content, you bring those people that are top of funnel, and they just knew you. They just looked at your reels, they find it funny, and they continue looking at your reels. That's where you can educate them on your offer, and that's where you can educate them on what you're doing to make those money, or what you're doing to lose the weight, or like stuff like that, right? So you can shift their paradigms. So that means shift their beliefs, and you can also educate them with content, all right? So this is where the messaging, research, and your ICP understanding needs to really be dialed in, because ICP is ideal customer profile. So this is the most important, because if you don't understand who your ideal customer is, and you don't know their demographics, you don't know their psychographics, you don't know their buying triggers, you don't know what makes them, you don't know what holds them back from actually buying a mentorship program or a coaching program, like you're not, like, it's so tough, all right? You're really gonna have a hard time on sales calls. And if I were to summarize it all down, all right, the reason why people buy mentorships is, yes, they want the outcome, but they also want to escape pain, all right? They want to escape pain. Everyone buys something to escape pain. So let's say you're hungry, you buy food, you want to escape the pain of starvation, right? Let's say you buy, I don't know, it's either moving towards pleasure or away from pain. But escaping pain or moving away from pain is a much stronger motivator, and it's a much stronger thing to get people to do, because like if they're in pain, like if you're in pain, you don't want to stay in pain, right? So you probably won't get as much motivation to like have pleasure or more than escaping pain. For example, let's say you're in a fire, you definitely want to escape from there. So yeah. So that's middle of funnel content, and this is actually the funnel, right? So you move people down the funnel. So if you go from top of funnel content to middle of funnel content, once they believe your stuff, all they need is a little push to buy from you. Actually, they need to see high results and the story CTA. All they need is to see that you have enough social proof, that you have helped people before, and all you need is to drop a story CTA or like a IG reel CTA, and if they consume enough of your content, they'll go into DMs, right? So with they can either go into DMs or landing pages, but it's easier to build rapport and get people to trust you way more through a conversation than a landing page, right? Because the market is so skeptical right now that there's a trust recession, and people are more skeptical than ever. If you don't send them to DMs or you don't talk to them, it's even harder to build a rapport. So this is the whole thing right here. And then talk about investing, which is Instagram ads. Let's say, I will talk about this in a second, but you can use Instagram ads to get people to follow you, and you can get people to look at your profile. All right. So that's where the whole flywheel happens. This is where the whole like thing happens, where the buyer's journey is not like a simple like funnel like this anymore. All right. So the buyer's journey is basically like people researching, looking at your bio, looking at your posts, looking at your reels, looking at everything and consuming, and like seeing that they're constantly consuming and researching, and they will look at your YouTube as well. Once they look at enough of a YouTube after a few days and they find value from it, like they will actually DM you. All right. So all you're doing is actually like increasing the amount of consumption and actually getting people to trust you enough so that they buy from you. All right. And that's where you can close like high ticket deals in the DMs after a few days of them like consuming your content and getting them to book a call. And that's where the money comes in. All right. People might not be ready to like buy now, but they'll buy later. All right. So it's not like they are gonna go through your funnel in one day, like, or in a few hours, like after watching like Instagram, and they will immediately buy. Like people would actually like research. Like let's say you buy, for example, I'm gonna put this like in a very simple form. Let's say you buy, I don't know, like maybe you buy something online, all right? You want to see how good it is, or how good is it? Or like, let's say you buy clothes, you want to see how good the quality is. You want to see how, if it has a brand or not. If many of your friends have tried it or not. Maybe they already bought it, and if they give bad reviews, then you're not probably gonna buy it, right? So that's how this whole ecosystem works. And if you don't optimize this ecosystem and put more effort into your marketing and your content and understand your audience well, your sales will be high. And that's why I say, like, you don't need more. It's not about having, like, complaining about more sales calls, or like more, like, doing more outreach, or like doing more volume, or like having like multiple tactics, or like having aggressive follow-ups, right? It's not about chasing. Like, it's not about chasing. It's about attracting. All right. It's about attracting people to you, like through your content, people resonating with your message and your education and your value and who you are as a person, and not chasing. All right. That's the whole game. And when you really like master the whole game right here, like, you're definitely gonna win in your business, and you're gonna make $30,000 plus per month. And you're really gonna see all these leads come in, and you're gonna see all these book calls, you're gonna see all this money made. You can close like 5K to 10K in the DMs easily, or even like on a 20-minute call, because you're really just sold until this point, and you just like close super easily, right? So that's the whole point I'm trying to make. It's not about increasing the sales side. It's not about having a business where it's sales heavy, but it's all about having a marketing heavy business, right? It's all in the marketing. The 80/20 is all in the marketing, all right? So when you spend 80, like, when you spend like most of your effort on the marketing, like, your sales will be easier, all right? Because like, people want to relate to you, they want to see you as an authority, they want to buy from you, but you don't go and like post a bunch of volume and like shout at people to buy from you. You just attract. All right. So that's all for today's video. I hope you liked it. If you need help with your coaching business and you actually want to scale past 30K per month with it, like, send me a DM on Instagram. I'll put in the link in the description below. Just text me if you have questions, and I'll help you out. If you want more videos like this, let me know, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.